Hey everyone, this is the ShutInBakas. My name is Chris. That was a bit energetic. Today we're talking about School Live, or forgive me for whatever I'm about to say. Gaku Gurasashi. Gaku Gurasashi. I think that's how you say it. So we're talking about School Live, which is one of the animes that I watched ages ago, and I recently just watched the first episode showing it to Jared. And it is still a masterpiece on its first episode. My god, it is so good. Full spoilers. If you haven't watched the first episode yet, and you don't know what the show is, go do it right now. I'm not even kidding, because we're going to talk about what makes the show so good in this regard. So you need to watch the first episode for you to actually get what I'm talking about. Because if I spoil it for you, then you won't actually get the full ooh moment after the first episode. So I highly recommend that you go watch it right now. It's streaming on Funimation, and I'm sure a whole bunch of other websites that I'm not entirely certain of. I think it's on High Dive, actually, yeah, so go watch it on High Dive. It's dubbed and everything, which I don't really like the dub personally. It sounds weird, but that's just me. I don't really like listening to little girls sounding like middle-aged women. But that's just me. So, School Live was done by the studio Lurch, and Lurch has done Assassination Classroom, Danganronpa the Animation, Monster Musume, and that's really about it. I can't really see a whole lot of other big name shows. Well, they did Carnival Phantasm, but no one talks about that anymore. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. They just kind of do some extra Fate stuff here and there, and that's it. But not that that's a bad thing. They obviously do a whole lot of other shows. It's just that those aren't shows that I've watched or know. So don't take, my, criticisms too harshly. I just haven't watched everything on this list here. I've heard about Asobase. That's apparently quite a cursed comedy, along the lines of Nichijou. But anyway, what makes School Live so good? The first episode is brilliant. It opens up with just your generic slice of life anime girls in the School Live Club, which I think that's actually what it's called. I don't remember. The School Living Club. That's what it is. And it's basically just a club where you live at school and enjoy school life. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. I hated school personally, but yeah, basically they did that, and you get the girls going around doing their daily lives in this, bright and colourful school, and everything's hunky-dory, and you've got this, cute pink-haired girl, which is like a senior to, well, I think a mid-year. I don't know what that's meant to be in American standards, but a mid-year student in high school. And essentially, she's, the big cool girl of the bunch. But the weird part is, all of the characters that are around them have no faces. Now, that's a bit strange, and most of them are just opaque colors, they literally are just a solid color. Which, that's just kind of okay, maybe they're saving budget, fair enough, I get it. No, that's not the reason. So we later on see the girls going, she'll go into a classroom chasing after her dog, and, one of the other girls will open the door, and she'll go hey, you're not meant to go in there, they're in class, and she goes, oh, right, sorry about that. But it's oh, maybe it's because she's the listless type, she doesn't really think about these things. Nope, it's just because pink-haired girl has gone crazy. It is such a good first episode, because throughout the entire thing they've been showing us hints, and so much stuff of all the darkness around them, but we weren't seeing it because we were paying so much attention to the characters. Such as broken glass being there, here and there, and if you look over the horizon, spoiler alert, zombies! The reason this show is dark is because it's a zombie apocalypse, and these girls are stuck inside of the high school. And that's why it's called the School Living Club, because they have to live at their school to survive. And the best part about it is this pink-haired girl has lost it, and her coping mechanism for this situation is believing that this entire school is still there and nothing happened. Like, she's running around the school, going, "Oh, what's up, bestie friends?" But there's no one there. I think the most, shivering moment was, she was at class, okay, I'm gonna run back to my class and I'm gonna pick up my bags, and, the girl's like, okay, I'll go check up on her. And she walks in and, I get shivers just thinking about it, because, she opens the door saying, "Hey, what you doing?" And she says, "Hey, don't interrupt our conversation." And she's just sitting there talking to herself in a completely broken down, glass everywhere, chairs flipped, and broken tables everywhere, going, "Hey, what are you talking about? I'm having a conversation here." With no one. She's just talking to herself. And that is just the moment that I fell in love with this show for the most part, because it was just so gripping. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was going into this completely blind, and it was just such a good experience, because, Jesus, it actually, made me go, "Wait, what?" I actually had to go back through the first episode and see all these parts of, oh, damn, they were hinting at this the whole time. Now, the problem with School Live is, it had an amazing first episode, one of the best first episodes for a horror I've seen in quite a long time. But the problem is, it kind of loses its way. A lot. So, obviously, it kind of has the generic, okay, we gotta do fan service. They had to do a beach episode on the roof in a tub, because of course they did. Stuff like that, and it wasn't necessary. That's the problem. This show kind of had everything going for it when it came to a good story or a good plot, but they kind of just ruined it with the, actual slice of life stuff. I get the fact that this was meant to be a slice of life zombie apocalypse anime, but they took it way too literally. They had a part where they were going to the mall, and I was very confused as to why they did that, because they went to the mall, but the pink-haired girl actually saw all of the zombies as her classmates or people, but she was having to run away from them in her head for no particular reason. It was a bit strange. And that's how they met the undergrad, or whatever her name is, the younger girl, which, she was tucked up in a mall, by herself for days on end, with a dog, if I remember right. And yeah, it wasn't a particularly good episode. I found it kind of how did this work? It's 4 girls in a zombie apocalypse. How did they actually survive that? The final part I found super annoying was the ending, which was the most drawn out bullshit I have seen. Basically, the zombies managed to get into the school, and all the characters kind of were split up. One of them got infected, because of course they did. And there was some tension there, because she said, okay, if I'm gonna turn, kill me, so, I don't actually hurt anyone else. That's a good point, because, it's a dark show, and it's the cute anime girl aspect that makes you feel a bit less uneasy, I guess. But, as soon as they start bringing in this heavy stuff, it's oh damn, okay. It's a bit dreadful now. But I liked that. I liked that part of it. The problem was, whilst that was happening, the pink-haired girl and the undergrad, I keep saying undergrad, I mean the younger girl, they were running around the school trying to not be eaten and try and get the zombies out of the place. But the main issue is, the way they got rid of them was because the school had a mysterious part to it. The school, this normal Japanese high school, had an underground base that had documents about the spread of the virus, or something. I remember there being something about the zombies in the school, and I found that to be extremely stupid. Why was that there, of all places? But whatever. And the way that they got the zombies out of the school was the pink-haired girl finally acknowledged that there are zombies in this world, and she just told everyone over the microphone to go home. I'm not even exaggerating that is literally what she did. She just told them to go home. Like a teacher would. Go home, you whippersnappers. that's essentially what she said. Like, just, go home. It's alright, go home, go back to your families. It's time to go away from school now. And they did. Now, I get the point that the zombies at the school were probably former school kids, and they probably were like, okay, I guess it's school home time now. So they went home, but the weird part is that they didn't really play into the fact that the zombies have any emotions or any, memory of their previous life. So it's a bit strange, I find, a bit jarring when it's like, okay, so you've got this very dramatic moment and the thing that you're going to end it off with is this lolly telling you to go home. That's it. It's a bit underwhelming, but I feel like they couldn't do anything else because these girls aren't murderers, so they couldn't go on a killing spree, and they couldn't escape. So I feel like the writer might have written himself into a corner where that was the only out he could get. But yeah, overall, I think it was a fine ending. It's nothing that will, offend me for the rest of my life, but it was a bit of a disappointment for how good the first part of the season was. And I think that is very sad, because we still don't have a second season. It's 2015 that came out. 2021 now, no second season. And the manga, I think, has concluded, if I remember right. Let me just double check that really quickly. Yeah, it finished publishing in 2019, so it is fully done and can be fully adapted into an anime. But they haven't, and I have a feeling that's because of either licensing or the fact that the last season had a kind of bad rep for its bad ending. Either that, or I'm the only one who thinks that, and I'm wrong. I don't mean to be cruel against this show. I really do like it. Its characters are cool, it's got a really eerie atmosphere to it. And the plot was interesting, it's just the way that they finished it off, in my opinion, could have been done better. So, here's hoping that second season comes out, because apparently it's going to get pretty interesting in that regard, because at the end of the first season they left the school, so we can go out into the world and see what's up with that. I feel like there's a trend going on where zombie animes never get, a second season. Like High School of the Dead never got a second season, this never got a second season. I can't even think of another anime that has zombies in it that has a season, so there's something. They're very rare. It's very weird how zombies aren't really a thing in anime. I don't get it. I guess they were a thing in JoJo's for a small part of it, but I don't really consider them zombies for the most part. So anyway, end result is, go watch the first episode if you want to get the idea of what the show is about. I personally recommend it if you like the horror aspect. It's not very gruesome. It's not gruesome in that regard, it's just kind of like psychological horror in a sense. But yeah, for the most part, it actually, halfway through the series, I don't know, from episode 3 to 9 or whenever that last arc happened, it's all just fluff for the most part. It's all oh, let's go and, do a club activity, oh, let's go outside and, do some stuff, or let's have a bathing scene. It's stupid stuff like that. It was completely unnecessary, and I'm guessing there to pad out the show. I guess that's it, yeah, the end of the video. Thanks all for watching. If you liked the video, press the like button. If you disliked it, press the dislike button. If you're new to the channel, press the subscribe button. Ding the bell if you want to know when we're uploading. Follow me on Twitter at ShutInBakas, where I post about my thoughts on shows that I'm currently watching, and will retweet news that I see in my feed, so that you guys can get it quicker than me having to make a video on it. Right, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.